Hi guys, let's solve the problem. So it says first you read your number n, so you read your number 3, and then it means that you have 3 lines, so we have 1, 2, 3 lines, and for each line we have to find the sum of numbers, of these, and we must find which line has the maximum sum of numbers, so and the number of line, so the line number 2 has the maximum sum, which is 46. But the thing is here, we don't know how many numbers each line includes. They may include different number of numbers, but we know that each line is finished by -1. So let's do it. And it says if there are multiple lines with a maximum sum, print the number of the last line having maximum sum. So what do we do first? First we read this number n. Let's do it step by step. So you want to create your variable n, and you want to read this number. Then you want to create a loop that runs exactly this many times, because it means that if it's 3, you have 3 lines. So if you know how many times it should run, you'll use a for loop. So for int I is equal to 1 while I is smaller or equal to n I plus plus. So here we will, since we don't know how many numbers each line has, we will create a while loop. You know that if you don't know how many times you run, you just use while loop until a certain condition is met. So you'll create while 1, and in this loop you'll read some number x. So this is a loop for each line. In each line you read x, and if x is -1, you break the loop. So if it is -1, you break the loop. It means this is the end of the line. But if you want to read x in this, first you have to declare your variable x. So far good. Now we must find the sum of numbers for each line. So let's create variable sum, but I don't give it initial value, because before each line I will reset my sum, because for each line my sum must start with 0. If you don't do it here, it will just keep on accumulating for the next line and you'll get the wrong result. So so before each line I'm going to reset my sum, and when you read it, if it is -1, you do this, but if it's not -1, you just say sum is equal to sum plus x. And now, but what happens actually when it's -1? When it's -1, you must check if the sum you have found so far, if this sum is the biggest. So let's create max, and then I must also have number of line. So if it is -1, I must check if the sum is bigger than max. If the sum is bigger than max, then I say that the max is equal to the sum, and the number of line is I, because I is actually the number of line. It is first line, second line, or third line, so the number of line will be I. But it says here that if there are multiple lines with a maximum sum, print the last number having it, print the last line having this sum. So in that case, let's say I found some maximum number at this line, and at this line it's also the same to this line, but this will not work, so we will not get the line number. That's why I want to say if it's bigger or equal to max. And now, finally, after you finish your loop, you just print your number maximum, you put a space, and you print your number line. So let's save it. Let's test it. It works fine. That's it, guys. Have a nice day.